Professor Nam-Yong Lee's long commentary, Unmasking the False Promises of Internet Glucose Monitoring Apps, a Moral Inquiry into the Global Deception of Science. Chapter 1. The Global Reality of Fraud in Glucose Monitoring Apps. Humanity is now passing through an age of grand deception, in which falsehood wears the mask of science. On every smartphone screen, countless apps proclaim the power of artificial intelligence, digital healthcare, and AI-based prediction, seducing citizens with the illusion of scientific precision. Among them, a growing number claim to measure blood glucose without a single drop of blood. Yet beneath this digital sheen lies no science, only the relentless appetite of commerce. In 2024, the US Food and Drug Administration publicly confirmed that no non-invasive technology has ever been approved as capable of accurately measuring blood glucose. The same conclusion was echoed by regulators in Europe, Canada, Australia, and Japan. The World Health Organization likewise declared that advertisements claiming AI-based glucose prediction constitute scientifically unfounded consumer deception. Despite these warnings, the global market continues to expand on a foundation of falsehood. In 2024, the worldwide market for glucose meters and related applications reached approximately $18.5 billion, 25 trillion won, and is projected to exceed $35 billion, 47 trillion won, by 2032, growing at an annual rate above 9%. Non-invasive AI or optical-based devices now account for over 60% of this market. North America holds 38%, Europe 27%, and the Asia-Pacific 25%, with Korea, China, and India recording the fastest growth. The driving forces are not technological progress but human anxiety and rising medical costs. More than 530 million people worldwide live with diabetes, and the number nearly doubles when pre-diabetic populations are included. In Korea alone, there are 8 million diabetic patients and 14 million pre-diabetics, 1 in every 3 citizens at risk. Against this desperate backdrop, slogans such as "No finger prick required" or "AI predicts your glucose for you" are not mere advertisements. They are perilous lies that threaten lives. The global app market has thus become an ecosystem where illusion spreads faster than truth, where profits rise but public trust collapses. This is the civilization of technological deceit, and the only light that can pierce its darkness is the honesty of science and the vigilance of an awakened citizenry. Chapter 2. Why blood glucose cannot be measured without blood. Blood glucose is not just a number, it is a relational indicator of life itself. Its concentration fluctuates continuously through a complex network of interactions among insulin, glucagon, cortisol, epinephrine, cellular metabolism, hepatic glycogen storage, and capillary permeability. Accurate measurement is possible only through the chemical reaction of a single drop of blood. The globally accepted methods using glucose oxidase, GOD, or glucose dehydrogenase, GDH, measure the electron transfer produced when glucose in the blood contacts an electrode. Any process that bypasses this chemical interaction is counterfeit. Numbers may exist, but truth does not. Glucose also exists in sweat, sebum, saliva, or tears, but at merely 1/100th to 1/1000th the concentration of blood, and it lags 10 to 20 minutes behind real-time glucose changes. Thus, truly accurate non-invasive measurement is scientifically impossible. Optical techniques such as near-infrared or Raman spectroscopy suffer errors of plus or minus 30 to 50 milligrams per deciliter due to skin color, melanin, hydration, blood flow, and tissue thickness. Electrical impedance methods are distorted by temperature and electrolyte shifts, showing no proven correlation with glucose levels. Recently, camera-based AI apps claim to predict glucose by analyzing fingertip color or photoplethysmographic (PPG) signals, yet prediction is not measurement. AI can model correlation but not causation, and no intelligence, artificial or human, can yield accurate output from false input. The claim that bloodless measurement is accurate therefore denies scientific law. Science is not a quest for perfect answers, but a discipline of honest relationships. Measuring glucose is not merely obtaining a value. It is the relational process that unites life, science, data, and ethics. The moment this relationship is severed, science degenerates into superstition and technology into fraud. Chapter 3. The Collapsing Triangle of Trust. Professor Nam-Yong Lee's philosophy of relations teaches that all truth exists only within the web of relationships. The integrity of glucose data depends on an unbroken chain of sampling, measurement, analysis, diagnosis, and treatment. Yet today's glucose apps have severed this chain, leaving only numbers and advertisements. Corporations sell technology without designing trust. Governments proclaim innovation while abandoning oversight, and citizens crave belief without verification. When this triangle collapses, science loses credibility and society loses truth. From a relational philosophical perspective, the roles are clear. First, corporations must be guardians of social trust as well as vendors of technology, bearing responsibility for data integrity and human life. Freedom of innovation must be matched by accountability for reliability. Second, government, through its legislative, executive, and judicial branches, must operate as the tri-pillar of the trust system, legislating the rules of reliability, administering enforcement, and restoring trust when it is broken. Third, citizens must act as sovereign participants in the data civilization with both the right and the duty to question and to verify. Doubt is not distrust. It is the first step toward truth. Chapter 4. Re-engineering trust through the FEA framework. To restore this broken relationship, we must redesign trust itself according to global standards. The United States, Europe, and Japan have institutionalized medical data reliability through the Federal Enterprise Architecture, FEA. The US FDA employs risk-based regulation, granting flexibility to wellness apps while demanding licensing, clinical validation, and transparent reporting for technologies that affect life-critical data such as glucose or ECG. The European Union's Medical Device Regulation, MDR, and AI Act require disclosure of algorithms and training datasets for any AI system used in diagnosis or prediction. Finland and Germany have built national public data trust frameworks, enabling citizens to trace the provenance and verification status of every dataset. Applying this model to Korea would create world-leading best practices. 1. Establish a national certification system for glucose apps, publicly disclosing licensing, testing stages, and privacy safeguards. 2. Introduce an AI trust index quantifying algorithmic transparency and error rates for public access. 3. Adopt compliance by design, embedding ethics, data protection, and safety criteria at the earliest stage of development. Build a citizen participation monitoring platform linking users, regulators, and medical experts for real-time incident reporting and response. Such measures transcend administrative reform. They constitute a project of relational restoration, a new model of digital health governance in which citizens, government, and industry are bound together by trust. Chapter 5. Awakening and Enlightenment. Honesty as the ultimate technology. The final stage is civic awakening. No matter how advanced technology becomes, if citizens continue to believe it's accurate because it's an app or AI cannot be wrong, deception will persist under new forms. Korea's 8 million diabetics and 14 million pre-diabetics must cease to be passive consumers of technology and become sovereign producers of trust. They must verify sources before believing advertisements, understand mechanisms before installing apps, and ask, each time an AI claims to predict glucose, from what data, under what validation. In Professor Lee's relational philosophy, national awakening means the recovery of right relationships. Citizens are not mere observers of government, but partners in building trust. Corporations are not owners of markets, but fiduciaries of public confidence. The media's role is not neutrality but allegiance to truth. When these relationships are restored, Korea will ascend as a civilization of integrity. This struggle is not technological but moral. When fraudulent apps steal public trust, honest citizens must reclaim it through doubt, inquiry, and collective intelligence. One person's critical question can spark the wisdom of millions, and that shared wisdom can form a culture of credibility. When that culture matures, Korea will rise beyond the false digital mysticism of the age and lead the world into a civilization of truthful data. Honesty is the first condition of science and the last defense of a nation. Only honest citizens can illuminate the darkness of technological fraud. When 8 million patients and their families awaken and unite in collective reason, Korea will stand as a luminous model of integrity, a nation where truth leads technology. Thank you for watching Professor Nam Yong Lee's long commentary.